Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of AEWSpark, where we discuss all things All Elite Wrestling. Here you will learn about Dark, Dynamite, a new announcement for a new championship, rankings, roster discussion, and so much more. As we dive in to All Wrestling, I'm Jesse Simmons, and my name is Noah. And once again, I am to welcome you to AEWSpark. And with me tonight for the first time ever, as always, I'd like to welcome the fans of All Elite Wrestling. He is a first-time guest. This is Shaun Bowley. Shaun, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Looking forward to this.
All right, fair enough. So you've been following All Elite Wrestling as we discussed prior to recording. You've been following it basically since episode 3, and you've come to look at it as a different product as well. But this was also the first time you actually checked out Dark, correct?
This is the very first Dark episode that I've watched since it's come on the air. Correct.
Right on. As always, I like to initiate a discussion on AEWSpark with shedding some light on Dark because, in my opinion, Dark matters as much as Dynamite, but it does showcase the roster. But also during this time, Dark is given a chance and an opportunity to the independent wrestling scene, who, of course, is the most affected during this time. Mad respect to All Elite Wrestling with what they're doing and Tony Khan and everything they stand for. And once again, they did it tonight. Simple as that. In under 35 minutes, I was very impressed. 4 matches discussed. Highlighted this episode of AEWDark as commentary was led by Tony Schiavone and Cody, who I think have gelled very nice commentary. And this was episode 27, emanating, of course, from Daly's Place Steel. And our first match was the ever brash, arrogant, I think literally a Chris Jericho in his own mind, Sammy Guevara of the Inner Circle versus the returning Matt Sales from last week's Independent Showcase in singles action. Both of these two men showcase similar, I like to think, traits in their personalities. Flashy, arrogant, over the top. They each got a bit of good offense in, but Sammy Guevara was basically using this match as a gloat showcase. As we learned prior to this match, he is one of the 16 participants involved in the brand new AEWDynamite Championship Tournament for the TNT title. It was disclosed here that the first, 4 participants known in this 8-person tournament is Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, faced each other in the opening match. Really surprised me compared to my bracket. Yes, I filled out a bracket. And the other opening match, y'all remember Fyter Fest? About to go down again. The chairman, as he got his name from it, Shawn Spears versus the American Nightmare Cody. And those will be our first 2 opening matches, as we'll also discuss that, and we'll also learn the other half of the bracket tomorrow on Dynamite. But anyway, back to Dark. And again, Cody being on commentary, he highlighted all of this, all the history he's had with, well, basically all 3 of these other men involved in this tournament so far. But anyway, Sammy Guevara, he took control here. There was a subtle moment where Matt channeled his inner brother, Immortal Hulk Hogan, with the U. And then basically, call is the rear view. Matt Salas trapped Sammy Guevara's head in between his legs and just pounded in the mat. And then there was a step-up knee strike into a nice cutter for a good fall, not near. By the way, shout out to Aubrey Edwards, one of the best refs there. And basically what they called a burning GTS, burning hammer into a GTS, gave Sammy Guevara the win, though he could have gotten the win much earlier. So, Shaun, let me ask you. You don't know much about Matt. You've seen him for the first time ever. But did you see some similarities in Matt and Sammy as far as their character went? And what's your overall takeaway from, well, Sammy Guevara's match here and his post-match statement?
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of offense that I saw from Matt. Obviously, the thing I remembered the most was the rear view. I still can't get that image out of my head. And Cody said it best. He was humping the ring at one point, too.
Yeah. Cody, definitely bring the humor on commentary.
Yeah, and you need that, especially in a time like now with everything going on. So I'm glad Cody mentioned that. It got everybody, I'm sure, watching it to laugh a little bit.
It did me. What do you think of Sammy Guevara's post-match statement, though? He calls himself the king, basically, of wrestlers. Key word, folks, in this company, they call each other wrestlers. Not another word that you might think of wrestlers as in today's business. But anyway, continue.
Well, his post-match comments was, it was, in my opinion, it was okay. We'll see how it goes, especially leading up into tomorrow night with against Allen.
Yeah, I don't even know if those are tomorrow per se or just coming up, because I know that they said they're going to do this tournament in April. Keep in mind, this whole tournament's going to occur through April. So chances are the opening matches that we saw that are going to happen might not be tomorrow's Dynamite, but next week's. Or next Dynamite. All depends how the world changes. But yeah, Sammy Guevara basically saying, nobody can stop me, nobody can beat me. I think MJF would object to that. But we also don't know if he's in this tournament yet. We'll discuss more about that later. But a good, nice opener. And then following that, we go into a match of, it was a match of Shaun's, ironically. The chairman, Shaun Spears, versus the captain, and shout out to him and the respect for serving our country in the Navy, as we found out. And apparently he's a veteran too. And Shawn Dean. But that's basically the only real shout out he got here, as basically Shaun Spears with one of the worst records going in this year so far, tag-wise, with his first singles match, I think, now this year, to my knowledge. Hey, finally got a W, pretty dominant W, too. The biggest note I heard here was they were comparing Shaun Spears' ring style to be a little slow. He clearly was the stronger adversary in this match, and they were really referring to his clothesline, more of a lariat, based on the amount of impact he has and how his opponent takes it, or how the opponent should really interpret it. Because again, both people, they work together in the ring. They are not legitimately out there to injure one another, unlike that Sexy Star situation, but that was a fact. But anyway, running Death by Driver, this match was over 1, 2, 3, pretty damn quick. Shaun, what ironically I'm talking to now is Shaun, different spelling, folks. Shaun, what is your thoughts on the chairman? This is the first time I think this year he was not necessarily involved in a match that was all surrounded by Search for Spears. This was more so maybe something out to prove to himself. And I feel like there was some subtleties in him doing that for himself too, because if you look at his shirt, it says impress me. But is he trying to get his opponents to impress him, or is he trying to impress himself? But this is more like an encouragement match for Shaun Spears. He has not had the greatest record this year. Give me your thoughts on this match.
I mean, this match was literally one-sided for a good chunk of the match. And I did notice, and I even wrote notes about this, Spears, in my opinion, was paying homage to Bret the Hitman Hart with a Canadian heart on the back of his trunks. And then on the front, It said Heartless.
Well, he is from Canada.
And he's looking for a tag team partner, so, Hart Foundation, Heartless.
Bret Hart could be probably a mentor, and I don't know if Tyson Kidd could ever wrestle again, but the Hart family, it does go deep, so never say never, especially when it comes to AEW. So that is a subtle idea to think about as the search for Spears. We don't know who else has been submitting a video besides Simon Miller. Why? But anyway. And we'll see if that match ever comes to fruition. Maybe the first time they ever go to the UK, if they ever do that, which of course would be under pre-tape circumstances, as Tony Khan put it, subtly. But yeah. And I guess we'll see if Tully Blanchard was impressed with his performance too, because Tully was not with him either. But also, we do know who was watching. Was Cody impressed? Were you impressed? Was anybody impressed? I don't know. I mean, it was his first W this year, so I say he impressed me. But can he do the same thing against Cody? Only time will tell. Anyway, following that, talking about, as you brought up his name earlier, Darby Allin, he faced the returning. I totally forgot he did do a match already. The returning Preston Vanilla Vance, who apparently has been under training by Mr. Appleman himself, QT Marshall. He actually had a pretty good showing, I thought, against Darby Allin, really trying to counter the so-called, as commentary put it, counter wrestler in Darby Allin. Taking the advantage in the very beginning with the suplex off the top. He showed a lot of, he definitely showed he was a more powerful adversary here with a standing vertical suplex. And then, as they put it, Darby Allin took over with a Lape Suicida between the middle and bottom rope, like a rocket, as Cody, I think, was intimidating on a commentary. When he tried to go for a slam, though, he was caught, but he got off a nice lion saw and a code red not fully completed or executed properly. I noticed the way he had him, covered. He didn't get his full body over him, so of course that fall didn't work in his favor. Ripcord Cutter though gave Vance a good opportunity, but rebound pop-up cutter into what they called it, a boulder holder. Where is Cody getting these names from, man? But anyway, it all ends with a coffin drop, and I do like the fact that Cody is showing how much Darby Allin has evolved. because Darby Allin literally did take a subtle look as he planned for the jump and planned for where he was trying to land on the coffin drop. In the past, he has not done that. So, Shaun, give me your overall analysis of Darby Allin's growth and his showing in this match.
Well, I mean, this was definitely the match of the night for me, but it was still so quick, just like the rest of them.
Yeah.
I will say that was honestly the best coffin drop I've seen by him, by Darby Allin. And I think it's because of what you reiterated earlier. He actually looked back to see how far away he was to land it.
Right. It seems like sometimes he overshoots it.
Yeah. And this was a perfect landing. It was like literally just like right in the middle of him. Perfect landing. Yeah. That's what made it even better.
Yeah, and we didn't have Taz to give us the subtle replay on the marker, the play-by-play type guy, unfortunately, tonight. But I could tell, at least from the video recording and the way that Cody was even demonstrating Darby Allin, showing better in-ring IQ, that Darby Allin definitely better executed the coffin drop. So, hey, good win for him. And so far, three men involved in the opening matches of this tournament, they all got wins. Which then led us to the final match of the night, if you can call it that. I thought we were trying to get a generic Dalton Castle here with Fabu Andre. I forget the moniker of Butterflies or whatever like that. He got one move in, and then he got Lariat, Gotch Pile Driver. Gee, I wonder where his opponent learned that from. And an STF, and that was it. Because his opponent was Moxley! Shout out to Justin Roberts. Brandy, I know she just said Justin Roberts. She tried. And it turns out Jon Moxley, a guy that could do everything, I knew it from the thumbnail. He literally was on the hard cam the whole freaking night show. But anyway, he came in here, he destroyed this guy, and that was it. But it wasn't necessarily over for Dark, as for the first time I can remember, Dark had a bit of a subtle storytelling angle, because who came out right after the match, if you could call it that? Jake Hager, who put him to sleep immediately, but left him conscious enough to know, wake up, I did this to you, and I could do this to you at any time. Jake Hager once again demonstrating his dominance, his fearlessness, and why right now he is the biggest adversary for Jon Moxley to overtake. While Jon Moxley has suddenly put one by one, I have taken out the Inner Circle, which he has, but he has not taken out Jake Hager. These two are on a collision course for each other, and it's going to be for the friggin' title, which I do have a pin for, but the title wasn't on the line tonight. But it was great to see the champ in action. So, Shaun, give me your thoughts on Jon Moxley's performance and the post-match angle. Basically, both men. Who do you see going in stronger here right now in this feud?
I mean, right now I see Hager as the strong point, the strong factor. I mean, he's undefeated. Obviously, it's just like he's only 4-0 right now, or 5-0 after Dynamite, which I know we'll talk later. Yeah, he's undefeated. Yes. Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to prove him wrong where he's going to be beaten. And is that person going to be Moxley?
Well, the thing is, he was not able to escape the submission hold clutch tonight. But then again, he was caught by surprise. But we also know Jon Moxley has been trained by one of the best MMA mat technicians there is. And that helped him beat Chris Jericho because they countered Judas Effect and the Walls in Randy Couture. So maybe he'll go get more training from him to prepare for Jake Hager. Or maybe he'll utilize even a bigger resource. Only time will tell. But again, both these men, they love to fight. And both these men are fearless. And both these men have pretty dominant records in AEW. Jake Hager right now looking pretty much unstoppable. And he got a bit more subtle vocabulary in too. So again, he's really finding his place. And they're really demonstrating him as this unstoppable force on a collision course for Jon Moxley. So we'll see how it matches up in the rankings. But before we get into more talk about rankings, the roster, and the championship picture, let's go ahead and shed some light now. An overview last week's Dynamite. As you know, I like to give this forum to my guests to demonstrate their overall interest, excitement, takeaways, and if possible, their top 5 from last week's AEWDynamite. Once again, AEWDynamite handling the empty arena situation / social distancing the best way they could. We had plenty of matches. We had some subtle storytelling, very intriguing promo, and again, I don't think you can say enough about the ending. So, with that being said, before I literally, explode from everything, Shaun, you saw Dynamite last week. Take me through the weak spots, the strong spots, and if possible, your top 5. What did you think of last week's AEW Dynamite?
I thought it was a good Dynamite. Obviously, the one before week before was really good when you had 2 debuting super wrestlers. Sorry, of course I habit to say superstar, but wrestlers.
I know.
It was. It's tough to top that, but I think Tony Khan and the Elite, everybody that was there, did a good job, with what they had. Cody does what Cody does. He made Jimmy Havoc look good in his match. Most people probably thought it was going to be like a 6-7 minute match, but it went on for 14 minutes, as Gary predicted last week. Yeah. The shocking thing about the match was actually the start, when there was a handshake by Havoc and Rhodes.
Image of respect.
Yeah, but you don't expect that from Havoc, who I feel is a heel.
Different times, maybe line up people's hearts, but again, this show was put together out of nowhere, because prior to this, they already had some matches planned, but they couldn't execute them. We thought we were going to get Luchasaurus versus Wardrow in the Lumberjack match, and the Best Friends versus Lucha Bros in a parking lot street fight. Instead, we got Cody versus Jimmy Havoc and Kenny Omega versus Sammy Guevara for his Mega AAA Championship. Not to mention the in-ring debut of, as you put it, Brodie Lee taking on QT Marshall, and of course the face-to-face confrontation of Le Champion and Matt Hardy. But also you had some subtle promos from, delete! You also had some subtle promos from Jon Moxley, who returned, trying to get the better of Jake Hager, who basically squashed another independent talent. Good for him on trying, though. But you also had a very subtle promo / request from one Jake the Snake Roberts on behalf of his, I guess you could say, protege, maybe, Lance Archer. So go ahead and take me through your thoughts on the entire episode.
My entire thoughts on the episode. I was disappointed one man wasn't there.
I don't need to guess who.
I've been waiting for that part, but yeah, sadly, no Adam Page. Cowboy shit wasn't stirred up, unfortunately. Maybe tomorrow night, we'll see. Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes quickly.
Again, folks, these guys are trying to put it together by memory. I'm surprised I remember it literally play by play. But yeah, you already discussed the Cody versus Jimmy Havoc. What was your thoughts on the Jake the Snake promo, where he basically was giving Cody an invitation, but also asking just for one chance for basically Lance Archer to face Cody one-on-one? Why Cody suddenly put, you don't just sign pen and paper and just expect to get in the ring one-on-one. You need to groom yourself, improve yourself. So was Jake basically requesting a match with Cody on behalf of Lance, or was Jake basically requesting Lance to get his opportunity finally in Dynamite? What was your takeaway and interpretation from that promo?
I think Jake the Snake was asking for a one-on-one with Archer against Rhodes. But, Cody said it, you don't come in, you don't get a match with me right away. That's not how we do it in AEW. You're not going to climb the rankings that way. You're not going to get one win over me and leapfrog over me.
Right. All right.
It makes perfect sense. You got to work your way from the bottom up. It's just like everybody.
Yeah, and we all know that the Murder Hog Lance Archer will apparently get his in-ring debut very soon, and more of that a little bit. Okay, so let's move on from there and talk about Jake Hager once again squashing somebody. But the returning Jon Moxley. As we learned from the previous week, he may not have been medically cleared, but he warned the Inner Circle, watch your blind spot, I'm coming for you. And Jon Moxley, he came after Jake Hager. Immediately paradigm shifted him after Jake Hager won his squash match, let's just call it that. But then Jake Hager, no selling paradigm shift, he grabs his ankle, picks it, and nearly puts him in an ankle lock, only for Jon Moxley to escape it and nearly whack him in the face with that beautiful title. And then Jake Hager, as Kenny Omega and Cody put it, and they were on commentary, by the way, for the night with Tony Schiavone. Interesting threesome. Jake went to go take a powder. So basically, this was just the subtle, I would think, building of this eventual match to happen. But do you think it was the right move for them to demonstrate Jake Hager literally just, no selling the paradigm shift so early in this feud?
I definitely do not agree with it. I know they're trying to make him look strong, but at that time, the paradigm shift, okay, he kicks out of it now. What's going to happen when he gets hit with it again? Is he going to, rise back up to his feet right away?
Well, to be fair, he did catch the ankle while he was down, but yeah, immediately after that, it's like he popped up. So it's like, are they trying to demonstrate that Jon Moxley needs to dig a little deeper against Jake Hager? You can't just beat me the same way you beat Chris Jericho. Are you going to have to beat me basically my own game? Is Jon Moxley going to have to submit the guy out? Because to be fair, on Dark, Jon Moxley did use a submission move to beat his opponent. And we all know Jon Moxley, he's a deathmatch wrestler, but he's very technically sound in the ring. Man can do it all. He flexes all styles. So
Absolutely.
There's that. All right. Now, you watch AEW. You know about the other company. You've already subtly gave your feelings about it. But take me through your thoughts of, let's just call it what it is. Brodie McMahon. What did you think about that steak dinner promo / segment? Where, let's just face it, Brodie Lee was mocking Vince McMahon to a T.
Oh, he definitely was. And there was one part that actually disgusted me is when he talks with his mouth full. That's like a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand it. So I'm like, this is disgusting. But, I mean, that's probably what Vince McMahon does. I've never, had a filet mignon dinner with him with asparagus. So I wouldn't know.
I know what you prefer. I eat. Don't sneeze. Don't you just leave. He literally mocked his former boss to a T. That was hilarious. I don't care what you tell me. That was hilarious. I'm sure Vince don't care. People are like, oh, Vince is mad about this. WWE's mad about it. Is it WWE or is it Vince McMahon? Let's be real here. And it's not like he's called Brodie McMahon or Vince Lee. Although that would be kind of funny. And, of course, this led to Brodie Lee's in-ring debut with QT Marshall. A nice, subtle in-ring performance against Appleman, where basically QT, he sold him as this dominant, entity, per se. I can make you into a winner, since he is the exalted one of, by the way, I still would never join that. But, of course, his finisher, the Sister Abigail, stands into that ridiculous discus clothesline, taking QT's head off. That was it for that match. But what was interesting afterwards is one of his little, what they call them, creepers. I gotta think Minecraft and monsters, all that type of stuff, video games, everyone Dark Order references. What? It's common sense. Anyway, he drops a mask off in the ring on QT Marshall. So, Sean, take me through, basically, what do you think Brodie Lee is here to do for the Dark Order? Do you see him working more as a guy to bring them up or lead by example in the ring? And also, do you see QT Marshall when he just recently formed a team called the Natural Nightmares and the Nightmare Family with Dustin and Brandy and Arn? Do you literally see QT Marshall joining the Dark Order?
Definitely not. He's not joining at all. I think Brodie is there to help push this team more and be that leader by example. I can even see the Dark Order winning the Tag Team Championship after Double or Nothing.
Interesting, considering we don't know the direction of the tag team title picture, and we know the tag team rankings have been the most to flex and shift lately. That's an interesting idea and point. All right. So then following that, let's talk about the insane classic of the recently hand-recovered, still had a bump, though, according to being the Elite, as we learned, blood champion of his own right, Kenny Omega, Kenny Two Belts, taking on the brash, arrogant Spanish god, Sammy Guevara, for that title. What a match! Take me through your thoughts and moments of this match, and also Sammy Guevara's subtle tribute to Brandy Rhodes, and our screenshot of the night.
There were several screenshots of the night. The first one was they even panned Brandy mad as hell as the ring announcer, mad as hell. I thought that was hysterical. AEW is gold for doing these little things that they do. Adam hand washed Page.
The subtle graphics. I love how Cody acknowledged the graphics too. It's gold for the champions. It should be. It shows that they are the top stars of AEW. Everything matters in AEW, and everyone has a character, including the ring announcer. Anyway, continue.
And I thought it was funny when Brandy introduced Kenny. Afterwards, Cody said, he got a better ring announcing than I did earlier this evening. It's the subtle things like that Cody says that makes you laugh.
Indeed. And yeah, did you think at any point that Sammy Guevara had a chance of winning this match? He really countered Kenny Omega move for move. Kenny Omega made Sammy Guevara look like a star kid. This is one of Sammy Guevara's best matches to date, in my opinion. So much potential, a little bit of solid heel tactics there, especially with the biting. But again, those wicked V triggers, still one of my favorite moves in wrestling. And of course, the 9-man falls to the one-winged angel, and Kenny Omega retained. It was a star-making performance, I think, for Sammy Guevara. If you had to say anything to Sammy Guevara, let's just say you're Jericho, okay? Let's roleplay here. If you were Chris Jericho, okay, and you're on commentary for Sammy Guevara in this match, and he lost, what would be the one takeaway you would say as a positive reinforcement so it doesn't happen again? Like, what do you think was Sammy Guevara's mistake?
Well, before I get into that, I did notice a botch. Mm-hmm. And the botch was Sammy Guevara's shoulders were not even down technically after the one-winged angel. It was still technically up. It wasn't until after the 3 that his shoulder dropped down to the mat.
Right. Kenny Omega just hooked the leg and had one shoulder down, but the entire other shoulder was still slightly up. But again, you're working with empty arena. They got like what? It was a 20-minute time limit, right? They got like what? 15 minutes? I think it was the longest match of the night, to be fair, though. And yeah, it was a solid match, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, it was still Omega had his leg, hiding the shoulder up. Maybe it's for future storyline down the road. We don't know. Maybe it's to add up to the whole Elite Inner Circle rivalry still going on.
Correct, because we're still on the road to Blood and Guts, where Inner Circle has the advantage. Not to mention Sammy Guevara being a vlogger, he could probably bring this back and be like, my shoulders were not fully down on the mat. Kenny Omega got an unfair win over me. I deserve another chance. I could totally see Sammy Guevara actually doing that. Okay, so that's pretty subtle. Oh, and apologies, folks. I may remember everything, but I don't necessarily remember everything in order. But how could I forget this? It comes interesting to me the way they book matches in AEW. Because Superbad Kip Sane with Penelope Ford versus Darby Allin, I thought was very good. And if I were to compare it to Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin back at AEW Revolution, I think in some ways, maybe because it wasn't like, initially just the guys trying to beat the crap out of each other before the bell rang before the match started. I think I like this match more than Sammy versus Darby back at Revolution. So, Shaun, you've seen our Revolution. You saw this match. Which one do you like better out of the two? And what do you think so far of the Superbad couple in Kip Saban and Penelope Ford? Do you think it's a good dynamic?
I do. Because you really don't have those that, other than the bunny, you really don't have that female valet out there to help the heel superstars win. And that's what Penelope is. You have it's a super bad couple. It's all it really is.
Yeah, and Penelope Ford, she did get physically involved, and Cody compared her to legendary pro wrestler ballet Baby Doll, which is definitely some high ranking right there. Cody, again, with a subtle, slow delivery, but old school mentality in his commentary / play-by-play wrestling call history. So I think that was subtle. But again, Darby smashed Kip with a Drawn Woo type super kick. That is a name you don't usually hear. But what I also found interesting here is Darby Allin constantly evolving. He did not win with the coffin drop. He won with a submission move, the Last Supper, which almost was like a weird type of altered form of a figure 4, basically, with a leg submission hold. And he beat Superbad Kip Saban, once again continuing his his rising as a star in AEW. Of course, they didn't know that this title was going to come into play, but I digress. But yeah, I think so far Darby Allin and Kip Sabian, those two could definitely, I could definitely see those two facing each other again. But now I'm on point here. So now we're just good. We talked about wrestling matches. Let's talk about storytelling, because not only did I learn that this segment was not done in one take, it was done other times because there was disagreement in the way that it was done, as I learned from news, from Le Champion Chris Jericho and even Matt Hardy. Again, both men respecting each other's creative values and stuff like that. They wanted to do it right, and they did within the time they were allotted. But we got to talk about it because, honestly, this was my favorite moment. I know I didn't get my top five. Maybe that's, and again, you're new to this, and I appreciate you for coming on here and giving me your thoughts. You get more comfortable again. I'm happy to guide you along, but I really want you to try and give me your overall takeaway, your breakdown of Chris Jericho and Matt Hardy's face-to-face. With, of course, first, Chris Jericho's face-to-face with Vanguard 1. I know you're laughing already, so I'm going to let you pace yourself, gather your thoughts. I want you to break down this entire last segment. What did you think of the face-to-face?
Well, I will say 4 of my top 5 was just from this segment alone.
Okay, that's fair enough. Go for it.
Number 5 was the intro by Matt Hardy, starting at the top of the stadium, teleporting to every different station until he's down at the bottom. I actually really liked that. I thought it was creative, especially with an empty stadium. You could not do that with a crowd.
Mm-hmm. All right. What's your number 4?
Number 4, Vanguard. Do you want to join the Inner Circle? He's literally having a conversation with a drone and trying to get the drone to join the Inner Circle.
While hating it.
Yes. I
don't
hate
like
you.
Your political.
I hate you.
You're
Son of a bitch. Will you join the Inner Circle? It just kept me. Every time he was like saying that, it made me think of the MJF and Jericho promo. Do you want me to join the Inner Circle? Do you want to join the Inner Circle? It just reminded me.
Yeah, and someone turned that into a cartoon. It's like, enough of this redundancy. Of course, the drone wasn't going to say that. Drone's just like, I'm out of here. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention one more highlight. Vanguard 1, best camera in AEW, as we learned that Matt Jackson is up to 61% in recovery. I hope to see the Young Bucks killing the business together again soon. We'll see what happens. Anyway, continue. Number 3. Oh, God. Can't breathe.
Number 3 was, it was just like the whole back and forth promo itself between Jericho and Hardy.
The callback
what was
of
it?
their hits.
Yeah, what was it that Hardy declared himself as?
Damascus! Reborn after 3,000 years!
Yes, I did not write Damascus down in my notes, but yes. Damascus! And there's entities all over in the crowd. Yeah!
There's Martin Luther King. There's one of our best presidents, Abraham Lincoln. And Chris Jericho's like, okay, there's nobody here.
There's no people
here. I banned fans, Matt Hardy. Fans are banned from AEW until I say otherwise. Yeah, Jericho just going along with this, but also saying basically, Matt Hardy, crazy. You haven't changed. I've known you for over 20 years. And basically, yeah, they just continue talking about each other, how each other have not changed, but have subtly evolved. But of course, one of my favorite lines, Chris Jericho, you are the whole of asses. I lost it.
Yeah.
Lost it.
That was good.
How can I do this? Because I am magic. After Chris Jericho asked about the teleport thing, like you said, why some people would find it hokey. Folks, this is Shakespearean type creative writing in professional wrestling. If this didn't make you feel some sort of entertainment, I don't know what will. Maker of pain, I knew you come. I loved everything about this, but you still have 2 more moments, and one of them is from this segment, so go ahead and tell me your number 2.
My number 2 was actually the entire Omega and Guevara match itself.
Oh,
it was just the entire match. I mean, that was, in my opinion, was a pay-per-view quality match. You had you had Guevara kicking out of V-trigger kicks and all these insane moves.
Tiger Driver.
Yeah, Tiger Driver.
Sammy missed
Guevara.
3-star press. Both men, they left it all out there in the ring as if it was literally, do what you can to make this the best possible Dynamite possible as long as they can. They even still handled the empty audience situation with having an audience, still gambling by the way, Shaun, bad, in a freaking hotel room or backstage area where the most hyped fan was Dasha Gonzalez.
Oh, yes.
Dasha was just, she was me, all right? I would have been the same way. And Tony's like, Dasha, why is she bad? Why is she just so loud? Why is she bad? You gotta love the chemistry between Dasha and Tony, all right? And Tony being nervous, just being on play-by-play when he's not used to being this, because that's JR's role. Of course, JR home because he's most susceptible to this pandemic that we're facing. I thought Tony did a great job as well. All right, so that just leads us, of course, to your number one. What was your overall number one moment of AEW Dynamite this past week?
When Guevara and Jericho were trying to leave to go towards the back, fire. They go to the other side. Fire. Delete. Fire. Delete. It was just done. Wonderful. Fire here. They go there. Fire there. And then fire to both.
All the pyro, because he's magic. He just let it all go off. And like, what's going on here? And Tony's just on it. We got to go off the air, folks, as Omega and Cody came down to save Matt Hardy after Chris Jericho got knocked down by one hit by Matt Hardy after Jericho slapped Matt Hardy like, I don't see anything. Huh? Okay, let me see if I can knock the sense into you. After asking if Matt Hardy was, are you elite or inner circle? And, of course, they had the whole delete the band, like elite, delete, elite, delete, elite, delete. Ah! That was just like, I think at one point Matt Hardy did say elite, by the way, too. And again, he said he is with the Bucks of Youth, for I owe them a favor. If you all been watching the Free the Delete series, you know for a fact the Young Bucks buried Matt Hardy, hence why Domestics was brought back to life, apparently, after 3,000 years. This crazy, creative, broken Matt Hardy gimmick, I love it. I'm so glad it's back, and I'm glad he's back in full creative control, and AEW is letting him use it the way he wants. But yeah, like you said, the pyro came off after a Sammy Guevara magically appeared to Chris Jericho, said abracadabra. Matt Hardy gets his ass kicked, and he was getting his butt kicked 2-on-1 till Omega and Cody came in with equalizers, still chairs, and you heard a wicked chair shot to the back of Jericho, who, when they finally went to the stage, tried to come back down, and next thing you know, pyro, Matt Hardy lets it all go off, saying delete, delete, and that was the end of the show. And basically, they didn't define anything for the following week except for the Murder Hawk Lance Archer will get his debut. So with that being said, AEW Dynamite, once again, they handled the empty situation the best they could. Some people call that last segment hokey. Folks, I don't know what hokey is in this day and era, especially if you consider what some wrestling companies do. That's like saying the 7-Impact Wrestling does with the women's division is hokey with the Undead Realm. Give me a break, in the immortal words of Mean Gene Oaken. But anyway, I enjoyed this segment. I enjoyed everything about it. And we'll see where it goes from here. But with that being said, let's go ahead and briefly discuss the rankings. As you know, the rankings change on a week-by-week basis. And here, between Dark and Dynamite, it was all singles showcases. So the biggest change I can see here is really in the singles division. And currently right now you have Le Champion, Chris Jericho, leading the division. MJF right behind him was not in action. Cody in third, Jake Hager in fourth, and Kenny Omega in fifth. Now, with the fact that Cody, Hager, and Omega all got wins, I got to be honest with you, I don't see any changes this week because there were no tag team matches and there was no women's matches either. And again, it's everybody that's now involved in Dynamite. Please take care of yourselves in quarantine. As Being the Elite showed your boy Adam Page, ignoring everything elite and doing his own thing at home. Yep, with a drink on the porch. So, yeah, it looks like he's handling his quarantine status pretty well. Rocking in a chair with a beverage. Good deal. And, of course, Christopher Daniels, he celebrated his birthday, getting everything you could want and need during this time. I love being elite, man. And, of course, still playing mind games with Kenny Omega, was on the screen, but was not there, but always is making a cameo being the elite. We're going to get Colt Cabana versus Kenny Omega eventually, folks. I'm just saying. With that being said, Shaun, the rankings, you pretty much know what they are. You know that they update tomorrow. Do you actually see any changes happening in the rankings?
I do. I see Kenny Omega dropping off at number 5 and Darby Allin going up to number 5.
Really?
Because Darby Allin went 2-0 between Dynamite and Dark.
Yeah, that's true. And Kenny Omega only had one singles match, so I suppose there's a possibility. And with the fact that he's involved in this TNT Championship Tournament, it would make sense to also highlight him as this is a guy with left. Because again, the rankings are not based off just win-loss records, and Darby Allin has been getting more in-ring time too. So that is a subtle idea. Though Kenny Omega, he did defend his title.
Yeah, he did, but you're going to have to.
Longer than both. Yeah. But it feels like his match alone went longer than both of Darby's combined. So, yeah, I didn't figure about that. So I guess that could be the only change. And as far as the women in tags, well, they were not involved in Dark or this Dynamite. So I imagine they're going to stay the same.
If they do change, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Akashia, she's going to stay at number 1, and they're still going to stay at number 1 as well. I don't see anything changing with that. And, yeah, Sean?
Dark Order. I've joined the Dark Order.
No! Damn it! I will not join the Dark Order. Screw that thought. But I digress. All right. There you go, Evil Uno. Now knock on his door. I just made a WWE reference. Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and briefly highlight this week's Dynamite that will be occurring tomorrow. And so far, we know 2 things. We know that the Murder Hawk, as he's being known, Lance Archer, will make his finally in-ring debut on Dynamite. And we also know so far one other match. Kenny Omega will face Trent of the Best Friends, one-on-one. I guarantee you Orange Cassidy will not be too far behind. With that being said, Kenny Omega has an overall singles record of 1-0 this year, 8-1 overall this year. Trent, 0-1 singles record this year, overall 3-4 this year. And again, the overall combined singles, tags, etc. Because again, they define their records in 3 different divisions: trios, tags, and singles. With that being said, Sean, what is your thoughts on Kenny Omega versus Trent? I believe this is the first time ever these two are going one-on-one. Do you see some sort of angle happening here? Because we know the Best Friends are still feuding with Death Triangle now, and Kenny Omega has all this beef with freaking Inner Circle. Who do you see winning this match? What's your thoughts on this match?
Obviously, I'm going towards Omega winning. And the whole thing with the Death Triangle is technically on hold because Pac cannot travel outside of the UK right now. So, unfortunately, I think that's exactly why they ixnayed the parking lot match at the moment. Even though it's just against the Lucha Bros, maybe they wanted to have Pac involved in something.
Probably like an angle. Because there'll be no rules. All right.
Yeah.
And we also know that Lance Archer, he'll be making his debut. Now, we've already seen Brodie Lee's debut. It was against QT Marshall. And Matt Hardy has yet to do an in-ring debut. Who knows who that's going to be against. With that being said, Lance Archer, according to Jake, he wants Cody. It's not happening this soon. So the way I could see it, this could take a psychological approach, and he could try and go after somebody in Nightmare Family, either through this match or maybe subtly through a promo afterwards. Who do you see Lance Archer debuting against?
I can see it against Dustin, because what better way to get under Cody's skin and get this match than attacking and going after his brother in a match?
That would make sense. We know Dustin would definitely be available because, again, he and QT have been involved on Dark. But I was actually thinking along the lines more of Brandon Cutler, a guy that, a lot of people, they like his look, and he helps with being the Elite. He's a huge supporter of the Nightmare Family. I don't think he's an actual member, though. But he also still has no freaking win on his record either. And truth be told, this probably would be another loss. But I think he and Lance Archer could have a good match together. So that was my thinking on that. I know it's not going to be against Peter Avalon, that's for darn sure. Even though Peter Avalon insulted Brandon Cutler on getting another loss. Yeah, I know. We're not going to see that robe or that mustache. What a shame. With that being said, we don't know any other matches, but we do know one other thing's going to go down. Jon Moxley is going to speak his mind. And I'm pretty sure right now he's pissed off. With that being said, Sean, what do you see coming out of this Jon Moxley promo? Are we going to get a confrontation? between him and Hager. How is Moxley going to rebound on this verbally before he gets into this physically?
Well, before I get to that, there's also one more thing that they've announced, and it's also the unveiling of the second half of the TNT bracket.
Yes, speaking of that as the main event, but if you want to discuss that, please do.
I mean, I'll definitely talk about the Mox and Hager. There's definitely going to be a confrontation. And honestly, I see Hager walking away from this one again, as he did tonight.
Do you see him like leaving Jon Moxley laid out, or is he going to like tease again in the ring and basically do nothing, or is he going to stay on the stage and literally not react at all?
Oh, there's going to be fisticuffs.
Oh, they're gonna come to blows, huh? And they're gonna get security and the referees to come out and break it up, or he's literally just gonna get the better of him and leave.
He's just gonna beat the crap out of him and leave, because you can't have more than 10 people, so you can't have security and referees stopping it.
Right, and we also know that Cody and Tony will be on commentary. They didn't say anything about Omega on commentary, but it wouldn't surprise me since he's there. So we'll have to see how that's all handled as well. But also, Taz, who gave a recap of last week's Dynamite, he and JR and Excalibur will give a recap of this week's Dynamite immediately live afterwards. I look forward to watching that and getting their thoughts. I think they're a great threesome. I need to get JR's new book. Still one of probably my all-time favorite commentator is JR. Still a fun question, Shaun. Your all-time favorite wrestling commentator. I think you already just answered it, but go ahead.
It's definitely JR. And Bobby the Brain Heenan's a very, very close too.
Yeah, those two had quite some chemistry. Good God almighty. I don't care. He broke him in half. I don't care, okay, what you people think, okay? So he doesn't know anything about today. That's why you got Excalibur. He's that nice medium to give you that sort of idea on the play-by-play of today's wrestlers, okay? But JR, he has countless years of experience in the wrestling business, and he does have more to give. And according to him, Restricted, he's the happiest he could ever be, too, being in AEW, all right? And he gets to be himself. I love the fact that JR is still doing commentary for wrestling. It's one of my favorite reasons to listen to AEWDynamite. Keyword listen. I already watched and experienced it, but I digress. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the main event of this discussion. Then I'll throw it to you if anything else you want to discuss. As we learned also from Dark, tomorrow night on Dynamite, we will learn this other half of the bracket of the TNT Championship Tournament. 4 other men. So I'm just going to go straight out with it, and I'm just going to lay it out here. We're just going to discuss back and forth who we think might be in it, whether we agree or disagree. I'm going to throw the first shot to you. Who do you think is one of the remaining 4 men in this tournament?
I'm going to say MJF.
Yeah, I have to agree. Okay, after everything MJF has done, been saying, and the fact that the AEW World Championship picture is literally being driven right now between Hager and Jon Moxley, you gotta imagine MJF is going to be in this freaking tournament. All right. So with that, I'm actually going to try and guess who I think MJF's going to face in the opener. He has a lot of history with many people in AEW, but he also has thrown out a lot of names too. And right now, he is basically undefeated this year, 3-0. But I think the opening match of this tournament, because I'm already surprised that one of the opening matches in this tournament is Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara, AEW Revolution match. I think one of the opening matches is going to be MJF versus Jungle Boy.
Ooh, I kind of agree, but at the same time, I feel like it's going to be Luchasaurus.
Oh, God. Okay, take me through your thought process on that.
Well, Luchasaurus was guaranteed a one-on-one match against Wardlow in the Lumberjack match. Correct. Wardlow is the bodyguard for MJF. How about this as a replacement?
Imagine, though, if Wardlow was fighting in this tournament on MJF's behalf, or maybe his blessing, like, you've done this for me, here's your paycheck, you get a chance to become champion. I guess it really comes down to MJF's ego, which is the biggest ego in the company, no pun intended. Is he going to be in this, and Wardlow's going to lead him to victory like he led him to that 42K ring? Or is MJF literally going to leave Wardlow in this to get his revenge against Jurassic Express and lead Wardlow close to victory? Do I see Wardlow winning this? No, I don't think so. We're going to talk about our brackets here soon, folks. Enjoy the rest of the conversation. All right, so with that being said, we propose MJF versus either Jungle Boy or Luchasaurus. And please let us know down in the comments, folks, who you think might be the remaining 4. before Dynamite goes up. We'd love to hear them. So with that being said, there's 2 spots left of. So again, anyone could be in it. Okay, I really hope that this is a breakout star. They surprise us. Maybe we get like a debut. Not that I'm trying to trick your mind or anything, but I'm curious to see how you think. Who do you think is also going to be revealed? Who else? Name a name. I know it's tough considering mostly everybody is an attack team.
This is completely far-fetched, but Lance Archer.
Wow. Just put him right into the tournament, huh? Okay.
My theory is Archer and Cody in the finals. That's why.
So he finally gets his hands on him. Okay, I like that, but I'm not going to necessarily agree because I could see Lance Archer costing Cody some point during this. And I'm not saying Cody's going to make it to the finals either. But when I think about who could hold this title, because clearly this TNT Championship is not only like the name of the show, it's the freaking network's name. This is their TV title, bar none. And I'm glad that they have this because they do need that, in my opinion. Even though I think they need another set of titles, but you don't want to oversaturate a company with titles, thus titles lose their value. With that being said,
absolutely.
with that being said, I'm actually going to go a little bit off the grind here and say that another person I think is going to be involved in it is Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana with his type of style, his in-ring expertise, and so far he's undefeated at AEW. I think he would be a great idea in this tournament. He surprised the hell out of me in the New Japan Cup last year, okay? He proved to me that he could wrestle. He's not just a fun-loving guy, because a lot of times I think he's just a goof. But he does love what he does, and he loves having fun in the ring, and he backs it up. So I'm going to say, actually, that Colt Cabana could be in this. So with that being said, you have Lance Archer. I have Colt Cabana. Theoretically, in your bracket, if you have Lance Archer, who's he facing in the opener?
I would actually I was going to say Dustin, but that's, he's Nightmare Collective, not happening.
Natural Nightmares, just saying.
Yeah, Nightmare Collective has been disbanded, yes.
Thank God, but I digress. Anyway.
This is a tough one because I'm trying to think of a singles competitor.
There's a few.
This is going to be.
This is tough. You had Jimmy Havoc, you had Joey Janela, you have Sonny Kiss. I mean, how unorthodox can this tournament be? That's the bigger question here. You do have a few names. You have Superbad Kip Sabian. You have Michael Nakazawa. You have Orange Cassidy. There's a few people you can turn into singles. You have QT Marshall. You have the chairman, Sean Spears. Just to give you a few ideas. You even have Trent.
Well, the chairman's already against Cody, so it can't be that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, jeez. I'm just going to throw it out there.
You got Lance Archer in the opener, so whoever you put up against Lance has to be big and or violent or experienced like he is. Not to mention, Jake the Snake's probably going to be in his corner.
Oh, absolutely going to be in his corner. And I was thinking maybe Christopher Daniels.
Oh, nice. The in-ring veteran. The guy with the most experience in SCU and finally going past, allegedly. Though I'm sure he and Brodie Lee are not done with each other. And honestly, I can actually see that because Brodie Lee could cost Christopher Daniels here. Again, I think there's still a lot of psychological warfare there. So I like that a lot. Okay, so with that being said, I have Colt Cabana in the opener of this match. If you're going to have Colt Cabana in here, you're going to put him against somebody that's going to be unique. And I think you're finally going to see a feud come full throttle. I think the other match opener is going to be Colt Cabana versus Superbad Kip Sabian. You saw that subtle tease they had from the previous Dynamite where he literally talked about Penelope Ford, don't need Kip, and yeah, slapped him away. So clearly those two are on collision course for each other. This tournament can open up a lot of potential feuds here because as much as I want to see someone debut like, I don't know, the Machine Brian Cage, who I think is still right now unknown where he stands. I don't know if he's injured or not. He certainly has been on Impact Wrestling. But we also know that the Santos denied the fact that he's all elite a while back. But then again, I also feel about Jeff Cobb, who had already a showing in AEWDynamite, and has been in talks with Tony Khan. Yeah, Suplex Machine himself, Hawaiian Juggernaut. I know. Now I'm flexing your brain muscles. Again, we don't know this is limited to the current AEW roster. We could see a new star form here, a breakout debut. Not to mention Jeff Cobb is I think, the longest reigning Ring of Honor television champion. So honestly, I can see Jeff Cobb in this now the more that I think about it. So I don't know whether or not they're going to limit this to the AEW roster or basically somebody that may want to be part of this, want to be, involved in this. And again, Jeff Cobb actually does make a lot of sense. And I think he would be a great representative too. But with that being said, we theoretically talked about our brackets. We don't know necessarily when these matches are going to take place. We know they're just going to be throughout April, so we're not going to try and predict the whole bracket right now. But that's just some subtle tease, folks, of things to come that we think is going to be the other half of the bracket and what we think of the opening matches. We will give you predictions once we know all 4 opening matches come next week's AEW Spark. With that being said, Shaun, is there anything else on your mind as far as AEW goes, or any closing comments you have?
Well, I will have to say my closing comment. This has been a wonderful episode of AEW Spark.
Oh, all right. I guess with that being said, folks, we are done here, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for tuning in to this polite, simple, subtle conversation about all things All Elite Wrestling, Dark, Dynamite, announcements, roster outlook, and more. We hope that you continue to tune in this series, and if you want to be part of it, all you need is Skype. Simple as that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. Shaun, this was an absolute pleasure. I certainly hope we can do this again sometimes down the line. Is there anything you want to plug, and where can people find you if they want to talk more All Elite Wrestling with you?
So I do have my own wrestling page on Facebook. It's We Want Wrestling Talk. It's fairly brand newish, but everybody starts from the bottom somewhere. I like to try and think of myself as the AEW, working my way up, getting more fans, more subscribers, more followers. I try to go live at least once a week and talk about Dynamite. If I have time, I'll do NXT as well. I want to do a NXT fantasy budget league where everybody's going to have like $20 to spend, and you can get superstars are going to cost up to $5, $4, $3, $2, $1.
Gotcha. I've seen some of those on Twitter for other stuff. That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, and I wanted to start it at WrestleMania and TakeOver, but sadly TakeOver's canceled. But yeah, but it's my way of trying to be creative with a new page. And
I like that a lot. All right, I like that. So thank you so much. Again, folks, he's subtle. He's a fan of wrestling. If you want to talk wrestling with him, please follow his page. Follow my friend here. Shaun, it was an absolute pleasure. Let's definitely do this again soon, my friend. With that being said, folks, if you want to know more about me, know this. It's as simple as this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I am a lifelong fan of wrestling in all of its forms. The good, the bad, the big, the small, the ugly. And as always, as AEW is encouraging, support independent wrestling because they definitely need us more than ever. So please, if you want to talk to me about anything wrestling, feel free to look me up. NoDQ.com/Noah takes my Twitter. I have an Instagram @mfoster1916. Give you a nice hello, thoughts, moments in wrestling, some subtle encouragement, and my food log. Also, you can follow the simple YouTube channel here, youtube.com/user/NoahFoster210. You will find nothing but wrestling predictions and wrestling-related content here for all my loves in wrestling. WWE, NXT, AEW, NJPW, my number one. Ring of Honor, NWA, and so much more. At the heart of it is my series, #2 for the matters that me and Chris Mace do. We are the simple holiday that discusses all things cruiserweight wrestling and the Purple brand. Because to me, and it always will be true, 205 Live matters. But also, if you want to be a part of this forum, this is always done on a weekly basis. And I record usually 9 or 10, because I'd like to accommodate my friends if I can, PM Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday nights, where we discuss all things All Elite Wrestling. Dark, Dynamite, rankings, roster, announcements, subtle digs at other companies, and so much more. It's just a fun, humorous, unscripted, and really untracked conversation. And I usually try and go for about an hour, but depending on who I have, you might get more, you might get less. I just hope you enjoy it and have fun at your best. Also, if you haven't figured out by now, the reason I'm even in YouTube and why I'm doing this is because of this. Support! No DQ. The reason I got into YouTube, forever indebted to the No DQ family. Thank you, Aaron Riff, Jerry Slaughter, Stephen R. Osborne, Caitlin, Tyler, the list goes on, Virtue. So please support my friends, buy a shirt, Tapestry, follow them on Twitter, follow my social media clubs. I got a shirt. They actually made this shirt personally for me, and boy, does it fit me to a T. Quote and size. Thank you. Just do it. NoDQ.com/merch, take to the store. Follow NoDQ.com on other social media platforms. Your opinions matter. There's a comment section for everything. Polls, columns, memes, gifs, reviews, recaps, polls, sexy female pics. They're 20 years old, Sean. They went through the Attitude Era. You name it, it's there. Primarily wrestling from WWE with a little bit of AEW and Independent Wrestling. Thank goodness we look at women's wrestlers different now from that place especially. But anyway, so please stay tuned for all sorts of news for them, especially regarding the most bizarre WrestleMania in wrestling history, but I digress, and AEW wrestling, and so independent wrestling news as well. So please follow NoDQ.com on our social media platforms. Also, if you want to join the NoDQ Predictions League that I personally host for the NoDQ Galaxy, later this week, if time works with me, I might do a NoDQ Galaxy Spotlight with Rick The Rock, the leader of the WWE People's YouTube channel, where he and I will subtly discuss our own WrestleMania predictions. But there is a form for you to fill out also on NoDQ.com if you want to take part in the NoDQ Galaxy Predictions League and join in the fun. Also, stay tuned. I will be with Aftermatch Wrestling with Jerry and Stefan to also do my WrestleMania predictions as well. And there'll definitely be more AEW talk going forward. When NJPW resumes, you can definitely expect some simple takes and predictions on that as well. And as always, I'd like to close. Support your wrestling outlets big and small and pro wrestling discussions, which of course is the main feed for this. And shout out to my good friend Gary Joe. Gary Joe, I hope you're doing well. I hope you all are doing well during this time too. Prayers to all of you that might be affected by this mentally, physically, emotionally, etc. But anyway, as always, I'd like to close. Support your wrestling outlets, both big and small, and let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that being said, thank you once again for tuning into another edition of Aewspark. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, hit that bell to know when the next video is going to go live here. Hit the subscribe button. Help me grow the channel to bring more fans and more wrestling fun to many more viewers beyond you. I appreciate all of you that continue to support me, all 125 of you. Sean, thank you so much. Gary, Chris, the list goes on and on. I have wonderful wrestling fans. I can't thank them enough. Friends, by the way, because again, for me, it's not about me. It's about wrestling. So if you want to come and talk a little bit of AEW wrestling with me, just DM me, either on Instagram, Twitter, or leave your information in the comments down below that you want to be part of this fun. You want to talk only wrestling? It's simple. All you need is Skype, and I'll call you up. Simple as that. But until the next time, I am the Simple Man of No DQ. My name is Noah Foster. This has been a wonderful conversation with my good friend here, and a member of the AEW Primetime Predictions League as well, as hosted by Pro Wrestling Discussions. Link in the description down below if you want to be part of the fun, and also talk more wrestling too. Shaun Bowley. I hope you all take care, enjoy life, wash your hands, stay healthy, stay safe. Tomorrow's never guaranteed, and as always, have a good night. And go do some cowboy shit if you want to. Why? You have the bottle. I don't have IBC root beer, but I'm going to acknowledge it. Bye, everybody.